Coming up on this episode of Fear Frontier, the podcast.
Let's watch some ghost videos. Who wants to go first?
Is the dark entity down here?
That looked very phallic. Is that just me?
And all of a sudden, on my foot, from heel to toe, I feel something feels like this. And I jumped and I grabbed that flashlight and I start shining around the room, and all of a sudden, and everyone freaks out. What? I'm like, turn the light on! Turn the light on! Good evening, viewers. I am Matt from Fear Frontier, and I welcome you all to The Frontier for what is the official first episode of Fear Frontier, the podcast. It's been a long time coming, and tonight's episode is brought to you by everyone, anywhere, that has ever perished. For without you, we wouldn't be here. However, I am not alone tonight. I happen to be in the presence of the other members of Fear Frontier at this very table. Greetings.
Greetings, welcome friends. My name is Michael.
Hello, I'm Chloe.
And my name is Riley.
And as stated before, I am Matt. We are broadcasting and podcasting from the inside, believe it or not, of an old haunted brothel located in the dark heart of a town in Arizona called Goldfield, nestled at the foot of the infamous Superstition Mountain, where what will happen is as unpredictable to us as it is to you. But among the many things that we're going to discuss, cover, debate, one thing we're definitely going to talk a lot about: ghosts, because that's kind of our specialty. And you never know what we're going to capture being recorded in a haunted brothel, just like I said. So I want you viewers to keep your eyes peeled too, in case we miss something. Now we're going to begin with the most cliche of all questions, the most common question that all people like us get. When I say people like us, I actually mean all ghost enthusiasts, investigators, ghost tour guides, which if you don't already know, viewers, you will soon learn, we are all three. So without further ado, first question we always get: have you ever seen a ghost?
That's a good question. Have I ever seen a ghost? Yes, I actually have seen a couple of ghosts in my time. Pretty much all my life I've seen ghosts. Lived in a few haunted houses and such, and always going into abandoned buildings growing up and stuff like that, looking for them and things like that. So any specific stories, probably the best ones, is going into the deserts out here growing up in the southeastern part of the state of Arizona here. We would go into abandoned mine buildings and stuff in Safford and that area, and you see a lot of weird stuff, ghosts, apparitions, all sorts of crazy things. So
I actually know of one particularly famous ghost that you've actually claimed to have seen twice. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, the Llorona. I have seen her twice. She's freaky. Well, the first time I had seen her, I was actually hunting with my dad. And it was at night, you get up, you got to relieve yourself and everything. And I get back in, and I'm looking out of the camper up on the hill, and I see this white glowy thing up on the mountain, and I'm like trying to figure out what it is, and this white glowy thing is coming down the mountain closer and closer, and I could tell, eventually as it got closer, I could tell that it was a woman, and I'm like, what the heck, and I'm trying to wake up my dad, because I must have been like 13, 14 years old at the time, and it was just getting closer, and my dad wasn't waking up, so I was like, I wasn't having, I covered my head, and I was like hiding under the covers and stuff, and I waited for what seemed to be an eternity or whatnot. And when I looked again, she was gone, thank goodness. But that was the first time. But the second time, I had witnesses with me. Yeah, I had about 4 or 5 of my friends. I was in high school at the time. We were in San Simon Buoy area in southeastern Arizona. There's sand mill out there and everything. And we were walking, it was at nighttime, and walking down a wash and everything right next to the sand mill. And up on the top, where the little door thingy is, she was standing right there. And we all saw her standing there just as bright and there as could be, I guess you could say. And we tried to get into that area. We walked around. There was no way to get inside that building. We tried. And so, yeah, that was the second time that I'd seen her.
Did you know who it was immediately? I mean, like, looking back, I've heard you tell that story to me before, and you always say, forgive me, I butchered the name.
The first time, yes.
So you knew.
The first time, I didn't know who it was. I might have been too young to realize it. The second time, we knew who she was.
So I have a question, because I know a lot about La Llorona because I heard the story a million times growing up.
We all
are
have
you the youngest kid in your
I
family?
am the oldest, actually.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Now, the cliche with seeing La Llorona is you also hear her crying, right? Did you hear
the
any?
second time we heard the wailing up on the tower. At the first time, a lot of folks don't know I wear hearing aids for like ever, and when I take them out, I can't hear nothing.
Right.
So and I didn't think about putting them in, so.
So she might have been.
She might have been wailing the first time too, but I know she was the second time.
She's all screaming, and you're just. So you said the second time you were by a wash. The first time were you close to water?
We might have been.
The myth goes she.
Yeah, there
drowned
was
her kids in the
some.
river.
No, the way you've described it before, no, I think you were. I've heard you tell the story before.
Yeah, because we were hunting near some areas
Yes.
down there. It was between Thatcher and Wilcox area in the mountains up in there. So there's probably a small creek or river or something over in there. I know Gila River was further down, but we weren't as close to that. But yeah, could have been for sure.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
But being in a sand mill, like you said, yeah, that wash right there. So anything could be that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
So,
yeah, that adds up.
Yeah. Well, how about you?
Chloe, have you ever seen a ghost?
Yeah.
Yes, actually. It was not that long ago. I had a family member pass away, and like pretty soon after it happened, I was driving to work in the morning, and when I was pulling out of the parking lot of my apartment complex, I looked over and there was a man standing right outside of my car. And it was just sort of like a shapeless black figure, but like I knew that it was my family member who had passed. So yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I've seen one family member in my time. It was my great grandmother. I never met her. My mom said, I described her. My mom said that, oh yeah, that's so and so and so. But it's good to see a member of the family.
Riley?
No, I was just gonna say, I don't know if I've ever seen a family member's spirit. I don't know if that would be comforting or terrifying. I don't know.
Yeah. How did you feel? Were you comforted?
I was comforted.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I have the same question as you because my father passed away just recently, and I have yet seen or that I'm aware of, other than that one thing on my stereo.
Yeah,
that freaked the hell out of me.
I'm tempted.
But I haven't ever seen.
I'm tempted for you to tell that story now.
I mean,
if you want to.
Yeah,
I mean, it also might be a hard story.
It was, because it gave me the creeps, and I do have the picture
recent.
on my phone. It was last year. And
your father passing is recent. I'll let you tell the story.
August of 22.
Yeah, so I want to make sure you're cool telling the story.
It was weird because it was after a ghost tour. Okay, and I, as you know, go get my truck and I drive back and everything. Or no, this was before the ghost tour. I was driving to go set up.
You were setting up. You were just simply setting something down.
And
in the parking
you know
lot.
how your phone, when it automatically hooks to your stereo, Bluetooth and everything, I have that in my truck, so my music comes on. Well, I'm pulling out and I just passed the cactus right there, and my phone rings. But it doesn't ring. It shows that it's ringing, but it's not making any noise. And I'm like, okay, and it's buzzing. And I look up my stereo, and my dad's calling me. I took a picture of that. I'm still getting
got
chills right now.
he's
It's
got a-
like
I've
my
got a picture
dad
of
is
it.
calling me, and I'm like going, and because I had heard something.
No, you heard.
I
no,
heard something.
You thought you heard something literally in the back seat. And
Yeah,
you went hello.
Yeah, it says
And
like
then-
hello, and then that's
then
when
it came through.
Yeah, then the phone, and then I saw my dad. You know how it pops up,
Yeah.
dad, mom. Yeah, on
Yep.
my stereo. So I was like, okay, that was weird.
And this was just minutes before the start of a ghost tour.
Mm-hmm.
I went to set something else up, and when I came back, you were a different man. Like you
Different.
approached me, and you were like, the weirdest thing just happened, and you looked a little emotional.
A little
you
pale.
looked-
I mean,
yeah.
rightfully so.
And I was like,
Yeah.
what happened? And when you told me, and you showed me the picture, I
Uh-huh.
was like, whoa.
Just thinking about that gives me the chills again. That was creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wasn't there, by the way, when I answered the phone.
I didn't know if I was gonna ask him. Did you try to answer the phone? Yeah. What was there? Just
Nothing.
silence.
Silence.
Any static
Yeah,
or
no,
anything?
no.
or-
It just when I swiped it over to answer it, it just went like there was nothing there ever. And when I looked back, there was no call in my in the thing.
That's trippy. Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
Riley, have you ever seen a ghost?
You know, I've heard things, I've experienced things, and up until very recently, I believe I have on two separate occasions, on two different places. One of which being here, actually in the mine. We actually shared that experience, what we saw down there in the pitch black. That was interesting. But one story that I've not told anybody, only one other person knows about this. I do enjoy to go to, haunted places and try to stay the night, hotels and
Who doesn't?
exactly. I mean, at
That's
least
just a thing.
everybody here, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But it was the White Eagle Saloon in Portland, Oregon. And the upstairs, in fact, it is the oldest saloon in Portland or Oregon, the whole state. I'm not quite sure, but it's very, very old. And the upstairs, you can actually rent very small rooms where you share a bathroom with people. That kind of, yeah, exactly.
Fancy seeing you here, that kind of thing.
Right, exactly. So the room that we had was literally a full-size bed and a sink in the corner. There was like nothing in there.
Stayed in rooms like that before.
Right. Yeah. And it was very tight and it was very interesting. And we went to sleep that night. And it was weird. It was kind of off-putting. I thought I saw something glowing in the corner of the room. I didn't know what it was, so I just ignored it. And I went to sleep, and I was actually sleeping. It took me a while to get to sleep, but when I fell asleep, I was sleeping pretty well. And at one point, I woke up, and you're not going to believe this, actually. I woke up, and I opened my eyes, and then I closed my eyes, and then my brain processed what I saw. I don't know if you are familiar with the movie Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, yeah. Well, which one? There's many. There's remakes.
I believe the original.
The original's from the 1950s, black and white, but then
Okay,
the
so
one in the
it's
70s.
It would be the one from the 70s.
That one's
then.
actually my favorite. While the first one's such a classic, that one from the 70s is
that the
scary.
one with that's not
Donald Sutherland, this gentleman on the screen.
Oh.
He's older here.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
I've seen
exactly.
many different things.
Yeah.
Now, everybody knows that famous scene at the end where you find out he's been exactly. So when I tell you I was dead asleep and I woke up, opened my eyes, closed them again, and realized that in the moment that I had opened my eyes, I saw somebody's face leaning back and staring at me, just like he was doing in that scene. You see the white of the eyes, except it was more of a yellow. I saw this, closed my eyes, my brain caught up, and I've never legitimately screamed awake before, and I did. And this is a very small upstairs. I'm sure the other people in rooms just next door were, what the hell was going on? But this scared the daylights out of me, and I did not go to sleep for the rest of the night. I don't know whether it was in the room with me, it was something in my dream or what, but it happened in the moment I was waking up, and it terrified me. So yeah, that was an interesting experience.
Last to answer.
Well, I've been to Jerome a few times. In fact, part of your story reminds me of something I'm about to say. One of the most strangely, paranormally active, whatever you want to call it, nights I've ever spent was in the Jerome Grand, and it was Halloween night, where me and 5 others, technically 4 others, the 5th one we snuck in, and he slept on the floor. He said, you can go as long as you sleep on the floor. But so he was on the floor, and then the rest of us were like bro sharing beds and stuff. And then there was we had done all this running around ghost hunting and stuff, planning on getting scared. It was a blast, and it was really spooky. The whole night was spooky, but after it was time for us to go to sleep, I had no idea how much was yet to come. And so I was in bed, lights out, nerves rattling. This is before the ghost tour and stuff. I wasn't quite as used to this sort of thing. And I'm laying there trying to fall asleep, and I had a flashlight mounted on the desk beside me in case I needed it, because I actually was a little nervous because it was a pretty active night up until that point. And then, just about to fall asleep, when all of a sudden, on my foot, from heel to toe, I feel something feels like this. And I jumped and I grabbed that flashlight and I started shining around the room, and all of a sudden, and everyone freaks out, what? I'm like, turn the light on. And then everyone's like, what? And then everyone's like, don't turn the light on. It's late. And then my friend, he's like, no, goes, Matt is shaken up. Something bad happened. If Matt's one to something bad happened. Yeah. So they turn on the light, and I'm like, something touched my foot, and we were trying to figure out what it was, and we were searching. There's nothing there, and then we're running around the room, and then all of a sudden, I throw all the covers off the bed. Now there's a light bulb sitting in the bed. I'm like, why is there a light bulb in the bed? Like a regular watted 40 watt bulb just sitting in the bed. And I'm like, was that what touched my foot? The thing is, and as weird as it sounds, I tried to reenact it. But it wasn't it. It was all weird and like a light bulb, so it didn't work. So
I'm just glad nobody crushed it and just got a bunch
exactly,
of
yeah. And then the other thing was, I'm like, okay, so here's the thing. It's funny. Let me go back a little bit. We're like, where'd the light bulb come from? Well, I looked in the lamp next to me where the flashlight was, and I looked up, and the bulb was missing. But what's interesting, this has just happened to be when we first arrived in the room that day, and we were putting our stuff down. I had chosen that I was going to sleep right there, and I had put my bag of luggage down. And I remember looking behind the desk. Oh, phone charger, place to plug in. And just by coincidence, I remember looking up and seeing into this lamp. Who does that? But I do remember looking up in the lamp and seeing the bulb. It meant nothing, but I have a visual memory of seeing the bulb. So somehow, between then and trying to go to sleep, that bulb wound up from in the lamp to in my bed. And the next question, who did it? And then second question is, who does that? Who removes a bulb and puts it in the bed? That's a weird prank.
It's dangerous.
That's not scary. And bulbs, they might brush against your foot. They don't drag up to your toe. And so it was freaky. Now, so I stole the light bulb. I took it from the hotel. I'm like, you know what? It's mine now. And then they're like, you're stealing? I'm like, well, it's not like it's a towel, they're not going to notice it. You can. So I steal the light bulb.
That's a keepsake.
Yeah, it's a keepsake from one of the most notorious haunted places in the state, if not the country. Now, what's interesting, on the way up, and viewers who have never been to Jerome, Arizona, it's a copper mining town, and it's the Grand Hotel at the top of this very windy hill, right out of a Vincent Price movie. It's amazing. And when we were venturing up, I wasn't driving, so I was taking pictures, and they were just regular daytime, the sun is out, pictures of this old town. But then I steal the light bulb, it's time to go home, we pack up, and I'm in the back of what's an SUV, not driving again, and I'm taking pictures out the back, going down the road. On the way up, sunshine. On the way down, every picture I take has this weird red streak through it. And I don't know what that means, but this is red streak just on all of them. Even in the car, all of them. And I'm like, okay. And so There's that. Now, have I seen a ghost? Yeah, because I took the light bulb home, I think so. Anyway, I took the light bulb home and I put it in my drawer. So let's say that I'm in my bedroom at the time. I'm in bed. To my right is a drawer with like a cupboard with 3 different drawers. I put the light bulb in the middle one. There's not a lot in there, so the light bulb's just kind of sitting there. But I start to notice sometimes at night, I like hear the light bulb like roll, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And then the thing is, like, I would wake up, and all of a sudden, kind of like we were saying, I would wake up and I'd be in the darkness, and I would see what looked like doctors standing over me, like I'm on a table, looking down at me, like they're gonna perform surgery on me or something. And I would like put up my hands and like smoke it away, like, what was that? Like, and then I would go to sleep, and then another night I'd wake up, there'd be a nurse, like an old nurse, like sitting in the corner now. Yeah, like sitting in the corner, just checking me. And the thing is, my mom and I both see things that we chalk up to tricks of the light, because I notice if it's pitch black I won't see something, but if there's like, you know, the green hue of like a smoke detector, then yeah, I'll suddenly see something. So we're like, it's our imagination. She's seen clowns in the closet, spiders on the ceiling. We have a laugh about it. It startles you, we have a laugh about it. However, this seemed different. And then one in particular time, like, why doctors, why a nurse? And then one morning I woke up, or early, like in the middle of the night, I woke up and I saw what looked like a prospector with a pickaxe over his shoulder walk from one end of the room to the other and then just stop at the foot of my bed. And I rose up. He was still there. I pulled off the covers. He was still there. I stand up and he's still there. He's supposed to disappear. It's your imagination. I walk over and I put my hand through him and he just mists away. And I'm like, something's going on here. That
was the indicator.
Yeah, that was the indicator.
No, because that was so real, but there's 2 things. I know I'm going on for a while, but there's 2 things. One, I had a friend over, and he actually was supposed to be another person that went to Jerome. At the last minute, he couldn't. And we felt bad, but he couldn't.
So you brought Jerome to him.
Well, yeah. Well, what I did was he was gonna stay at the house, and I'm like, I'm kind of the you can have my room guy. I'll go sleep on the couch. I just, you're my guest. But I didn't tell him any of the cool stuff that happened because I didn't want him to be jealous. So I kept it a secret because I'm like, he got left out. I don't want him to know how amazing it was. So I didn't tell him anything. The next morning, bro, something weird going on in your room. I'm like, what? He's like, I'm hearing noises. I'm like, okay, and like, I remember the drawers over there, light bulbs in the old drawer. I'm like, where'd you hear him? Right there. And he just points dead at the middle drawer. And I'm like, really? I'm like, that's weird. What it sounded like? He's like, I don't know. And I opened it. I'm like, I point the light bulb. He's like, he rolled that light bulb around. He's like, maybe. He's like, but the whole dresser was kind of cracked. He goes, but it might have been that sound. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Now here's why I say there's the imagination. There's what my mom and I share, but this is why I say I might have seen a ghost, because you research the Jerome Hotel in Arizona. It used to be a hospital for copper miners.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, I was in room, if I'm not mistaken, 33B. Just like you said, there's a closet and a bathroom that connect to room 32B. You can walk through the closet, you can walk through the bathroom and go from 33B into 32B. 32B is right next to the Grand Suite. The Grand Suite used to be the surgery room. And then I started researching. If you failed surgery, you weren't going to make it. You were alive, but you were going to die, and they knew it. They would put you in room 33B. Room 32B was the nurse's station. And they would watch you, and then they would come in and check on you. If they thought you were dead, and they wanted to find out, they would run their finger from your heel to your toe. And I found this out post the trip.
Wow.
So have I seen a ghost?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. But I was going to add something to your Jerome thing, because when I was younger, before it was a hotel, back when it was still an abandoned hospital, it was just boarded up.
It was
and
boarded up
everything.
for
It was
years.
boarded up for many years.
And this hippie.
And as a kid, me and my friends broke in there, snuck in there, I guess you could say, and was investigating and looking around like dumb kids do and everything. You were freaky as heck when it wasn't. Hotel's pretty.
There are there's I've been to Jerome several times. I've taken nighttime tours. They say that the people that used to be security guards that used to guard it at night, some of them took their own lives. Some of them in the hotel.
Yeah.
So they
like out of The Shining.
stopped having security because they either wouldn't stay more than a night or two, or they would be injured or they would kill themselves.
I stayed at the Jerome Grand Hotel once for one of my birthdays when I was younger. And I just remember it was my last day there. I was in the shower getting ready, and then I was going to go pack so I could leave. And I was in the shower, in the middle of washing my hair. And I could not shake off the feeling that someone was in there watching me. I had never been so certain that there was someone watching me as I was in that moment. I didn't even finish showering. I just got out. I was like, I'm out.
I think I've heard that there's a book in the lobby that is sort of you can write down your experiences. A lot of them, I think.
Yeah, if I remember, that one's
being watched in the shower.
Being watched in the shower, being watched in bed. But yeah.
I mean, these are old copper miners, so.
Yeah. You're in a.
They might enjoy the show. So.
Wow. Now I stayed one night in the Jerome Grand and nothing happened. So
did you write it down in their lobby book?
You're like, wow,
haunted.
Not a single thing happened.
Actually, real quick, viewers, if you do go to Jerome, I'm sure they switch it out after a while. But if you can find an old copy, because I think they store them a lot of them get stolen, but of the old books, I wrote down my experience on page 111. Very easy to remember. If you can get a hold of the correct one, 111, room 33B. My story is written in there. So if you're traveling, go to Arizona, Jerome Grand, look for it. That'd be cool.
Mine's in there, but I don't know the page number.
I remembered 111.
Never stayed there.
111 was very easy to remember.
I've never stayed there as a hotel, so.
Nah, he just hit
As
his
a
way
hotel.
through. I stayed as a hotel. I stayed there when it was boarded up, don't go in hazard.
Exactly.
He's like, now that it's a hotel,
Now that you gotta pay
that
to
luxury, come on.
But that's interesting though, because we've all been there in a different way, and we've all experienced different things. Whether that's
anything, you just
well,
said that.
well,
it's still an experience.
He's like, but it was really
It's an
nice.
experience,
It was a great
you know?
experience. I'd recommend to a
I
friend.
would love to go back, and that's the beauty of the
We will.
paranormal. You never
Oh,
know.
We're gonna do that. I mean, because we've
absolutely.
already
wait to
stayed
go
in the
back.
Copper Queen and Bisbee.
No, truth be told, I'd say we have the benefit of the ghost tour, the town of Goldfield. Some of what I've seen is much of what I've seen actually is. I used to would normally say that Jerome was the most paranormal place I've ever been until Goldfield, but granted, I have a lot of nights in Goldfield compared to the few nights I've stayed in the Jerome Hotel. But every single employee that works in Goldfield has at least one ghost story. Rather
At
they
least
work
one.
in
Something
the mine,
happened.
rather
Yeah.
they work in the Mystery Shack, our fun house that we have here, or any of these shops that up and down the street, the main street, they all have at least one story. Even those that don't believe. Now, I don't believe in such things, but I did one night have a story like that. Or even the campers. Remember, like you and I will be hanging out, and like somebody come in and be like, "Hey, is there any mail for me?" Like people camp in the town, and then be like, "Yeah, they get their mail." Like, by the way, I'll tell you what happened the other night, and they'll tell us some scary ghost story. Just this place, no one's sacred, and it's one of the things I love about it. As I mentioned, we're in a very haunted room. We are in an old brothel, an old whorehouse from a town that dates back to the 1890s. So we've seen things right here in this room.
Hang on a second, viewers. Let us explain something in a little more detail, in case you are new around here. When this group of spooky individuals say that they are in a haunted brothel located in an old mining town dating all the way back to the 1890s, they mean it. Okay, this is the brothel, aka Lulu's Bordello. It is located in the town of Goldfield, Arizona. More on the town later, but for now, know that this creepy Victorian structure is the building that these folks are podcasting from. Up in this room here, to be precise. Okay, back to the show.
We've seen things right here in this room, which is also why, viewers, I want you to keep an eye out for anything that goes on around us or something that maybe the cameras pick up that we don't. I'll also point out, viewers, you'll be lucky if you even see this, because cameras actually have a tendency to malfunction in here. A lot of times on the Ghost Tour, because the Ghost Tour does venture in here, that we do, people will take pictures because it's a beautiful room, but pictures will come out dark or blurry or just
whited out,
defocused, or like the flash doesn't work, your phone resets, the batteries die. It's so common that we tell people, do not be surprised if this happens on the tour. So hey, as I'm talking to this camera, it might not even be on. And if you don't see this, that's why. But yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of stories of what we've heard, but what would you say is the scariest thing you've visually seen
in this room?
The bordello. The very room we're in.
Probably when I'm in here, because I've been in here by myself at nighttime too, while we're like setting up for a movie shoot or something like that. People going down to the car, going here or there, and I'd stay up here doing whatever. And just things that you catch out of the corner of your eye, like in the mirrors. And probably the biggest thing in here is in the small room, I've seen things move and stuff
Riley.
like that. Yeah, the small room, which is behind Riley over here. There's
behind
two
Riley's,
rooms.
Yeah, the farthest one down the hall is the madam's room.
Right.
The one closer just behind where Riley is.
Right, the non-window room. And I've
got my
seen
back
shadow figures in that room
an eye
a
on
couple of times. I've seen cabinets move. I've seen things fall off the counters, get thrown at people. Those are most of the visuals and stuff. Most of the stuff in here I get is feelings and sensations.
A lot of it's feelings, and it can also differ a lot of the times between men and women. I often say women feel a sense of sad connection to sort of the woes that women might have gone through here in the 1890s, while men are often threatened as if something doesn't want them here.
Yeah, the madam
Because
gets to
it's
them
not
or
just
something.
women here. I mean, there would have been men wanting to dominantly take command of this place. Something that's also interesting is before, I mean, this is the first episode of Fear Frontier, the podcast, but before, when we set up, there actually was a test run. We did a similar test run to what you're seeing now, but it was a practice run with no real subjects. It was just to get a take on video and audio, visual, but behind Riley, right where you're sitting, the hallway behind Riley connects to the madam's room, which I would say was where most activity is and where most malfunctioning of cameras happen, rather it be video or photos. And as you can see, I'm pointing at you, but there's also a camera pointing at Riley. Well, the camera that's pointing at Riley in the test run had so many issues, I almost couldn't get the footage uploaded to even see what we were working with. And I was like, oh, that's very strange, but it was right behind you. And what's behind you? The madam's room. So I was wondering if there was some kind of connection.
That's one thing that when we're here, we're just gonna have to. If the madam wants to do something, she's gonna do it, and if she don't want us in here, she'll let us know.
I remember one guest took 3 pictures back to back to back in the same exact spot in the madam's room. 2 of them were fine, and the third one, for no reason at all, was about 5 times as dark.
Was that the one where he
all
took
the
the
time.
picture
That was-
in the mirror and the thing was standing behind
No,
him?
that was-
a
Have you ever
different
seen
one?
that picture?
I had,
Yeah, that one's online.
I'll show it. A man took 2 simultaneous pictures with a flash, and the first one, it's just him. It's a vanity mirror. The second picture, I mean, the guy's also bald, so it's very easy to see.
Distinguish him.
There's something behind him. It looks like something with hair. There's like a mist, maybe a face and an arm. Kind of reach on the other side. I'll show the
it's
photo.
pretty creepy back in there.
You're never alone back there, ever. Don't get comfortable. You're never alone.
I gotta get comfortable. I'm sitting here for.
Yeah, with your back.
Back
You
towards
guys
you.
get.
Or I'll tell you something happens. In fact, do you know about the veiled woman? When we're talking, speaking of visually seeing,
Yeah.
do you know about the veiled woman? Do you know about the veiled woman?
No, I don't.
There was a
This one
time on a ghost tour when I had entered through the door, and when I first enter, the lights are out. The only light in the room is the lantern that I'm leading with, And I saw right behind you, Riley, in that corner, what looked like a woman in a black veil make eye contact with me and then sort of step back. Now, it startled me, but I chalked it up to trick.
Yeah, the lantern. I heard that.
That was weird.
Yeah, that cabinet is
that
creepy.
cabinet.
And
The cabinet behind me made an unexpected knocking sound. It was only once that I remember, and while it may be nothing, what makes it interesting is it sounded a lot like the knock came from inside the cabinet. Furthermore, this cabinet is known to have curious and eerie activities surround it. Everything from unexplained sounds to the cabinets opening by themselves and objects within relocating even when the cabinet is locked. The artifacts in this cabinet all once belonged to individuals who are now deceased. It is also interesting that the knocking happened just as I began a story about a spirit I may have witnessed within the very room we are recording in, very near the cabinet.
eye contact with me and then sort of step back. Now, it startled me, but I chalked it up to trick.
Yeah, the lantern. I heard
That was
that.
weird.
To trick.
Yeah.
It sounded like something knocked
Let
on
us know.
this cabinet, which this cabinet is known for a ton of stories. A lot of
Everything in there
lot
is
of very
from
strange
somebody
stuff.
that
Yes.
died here in
All the
Goldfield.
objects in here belong to somebody that is now
Except for the
deceased.
doll. I have no clue
We
where
do
that
not
doll
know where the
came
doll
from.
came from.
It
The
just
one in the
showed
red
up
right there,
one
we
day.
have no idea where that came from. Hopefully you can see it from there, but
We've been sitting here for hours, or we've been doing things, running around, and that has not made a single
That hasn't
noise.
made any noise
yep,
whatsoever.
that was the first time right there. Now, the woman in the veil, I would have considered it a trick of the light. However, while I was continuing to tell the story and everybody was standing in a circle around the room, suddenly from the opposite of the hallway, people over there just all of a sudden interrupted me. There's a woman in black clothes behind you, and I'm like, what? And like I didn't see anyone. I'm like, really? And like, what? 3, 4, 5 of them were like, yeah, there's a woman behind you. There was. And there was so much confusion. I'm like, well, hang on, let me go check.
Yeah.
I hadn't told anyone what I saw.
Right.
And I went into the madam's room, and the just negativity seeped into the bones. It was like nauseating.
Yeah, and then
awful
nobody could go back
depression.
there.
Yeah,
We-
and then I got
bunch of
out, and then
different tried.
you tried
I
to go.
tried,
You
I-
couldn't get past the bar.
Yeah, I couldn't get past
And
the edge
neither
of
could the guests. No
wall.
one could get past that
Yeah,
bar.
nobody was going back there.
And
that night.
did you see anything? I'm like, no, but then I told him when I came in, I saw this. I'm like, yeah, that's what we saw. And I'm like, well, who's the woman in the veil? And we still don't know. Hopefully
Yeah,
we
wouldn't
find
know
out.
who that is.
But yeah, and then even employees that work here in the daytime, they've all got stories. In fact, the bordello in the daytime has a little bit of a turnover because people don't like
They
to
don't
stay in
wanna-
here.
they can't work here,
They'll
yeah.
be in here a day, 4 days, a week, and be like, you know what? Nope, and they'll leave.
Nope.
Now there's a woman that works here now. Her name is Amanda, and she recently had an experience that she told me about. Also behind Riley, you know, the 2 bedrooms are behind Riley. So we're probably gonna say that a lot, but the smaller room, she was in here.
Alright, so, hello, my name is Amanda Norman and I work here at the Bordello at Goldfield Ghost Town. Okay, so one day here at Goldfield Ghost Town, I was working, closing up like I normally do, and I was coming over to the service door. And usually this door closes. It can close, it can open, but for some weird odd reason, I'm sitting here, I'm pulling and I'm shoving and I'm tugging, and the door would not close. And then I just yanked it. And then all of a sudden, a man screamed at me from behind the door. And I just, I'm sorry. And I walked away.
Did you run out the door?
I ran out the door right over here and I was just like, okay, have a good day. And I sat down.
So since that happened, how do you approach the bordello now?
So every morning I'll come in. Good Good morning, Bordello. How are you? Are we going to have a good day today? Let's have a good day today. Good morning.
Thank you.
It sounds like she almost interrupted something.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it happens, just like that as she walks in, what would happen in that room when the door's closed? You know, so
You never know. And back in those days, anything could have happened, or could have just startled someone just innocently too.
true. Yeah, exactly.
So you never know.
And there is one story in particular that I'm not going to tell right now, but you all know what it is. One of my favorite ghost stories ever that would also be on par with one that I would gladly tell is also one that I usually do tell on the ghost tour. It does take place in this building right where these cameras are pointed at. But I'm not going to tell that story just yet. But in case our viewers are curious what's up with this bordello, well, we'll actually tell you a little bit about the bordello right now. This is a bordello dating back to Goldfield Ghost Town 1890s. And I said in the intro, sitting at the foot of the Superstition Mountains.
The Superstition Mountain is no ordinary mountain. This is a cursed mountain that is said to hold within it the power of a vengeful god. Centuries ago, the desert that rests in the shadow of this mountain was dwelled within by the Apache tribe. The Apache both worship and fear this mountain and speak of a thunder god within who guards the golden veins that run throughout the mountain's stone, as well as stands over the portal to hell. In protecting this mountain, the god placed a curse over this mountain and the land that surrounds it. All those who touch or see the treasure in the holy mountain without permission will surely be cursed to die, and those who die will wander like prisoners in the desert for eternity. These words would often fall on deaf ears, as over the years, brave men would come to seek their fortune in these mountains. Their bravery soon turned into foolishness, as countless prospectors have found nothing more than their own demise. Where legend says they now haunt this Arizona desert. Goldfield, a mining town established in 1893 that resides at the foot of these mountains, is no ordinary town. It was once the richest gold mining town that the state of Arizona had ever seen, but now it is a ghost town. The men were warned not to dig, but their lust for gold was too great, until unexpectedly in 1897, while 1,058 feet in the ground, the men in the Goldfield mines struck an aquifer. The mines became flooded, and to this day, no one can venture back inside. After the citizens of Goldfield left, seeking other ventures, the town stayed behind, becoming the ghost town that it is more known as today. The town of Goldfield is said to be truly haunted, and though many visit the town today to learn of its history, the ground the town stands on is still said to be cursed. This, of course, includes the very building that this podcast is being recorded from, one of Goldfield's old brothels. This brothel partially burned down in the 1940s. The damaged sections of the building are rebuilt on the same foundation as where they originally stood. Inside the building are antiques, some dating back over 100 years. This bordello is more than just rumored to be haunted, as there are countless claims of ghost stories within the building. This bordello is cursed much like the dark desert around it. And over the years, many have entered this brothel in hopes to make contact with the other side, including, infamously, the ghost adventurers.
Amazingly, strange, unexplained noises begin coming from the bordello right where this figure was seen entering.
How many stories will be experienced now that we are recording in its main upstairs parlor?
There's no windows open, there's nothing.
Now, of course, while we're busy experiencing our own paranormal happenings, we also have a lot of fun watching yours. So, what we're actually going to do now for tonight is we actually have each selected a few videos, some likes and dislikes, and we're going to all watch them together. Now, nobody knows what each other's videos are. We just chose some likes and dislikes. We're going to watch them. We're going to pretty much debut them to each other, and then we're going to discuss our opinions. We're going to give our opinions on videos that you've probably seen too, but hey, I want you guys to sort of participate in this too. Tell us what you think in the comments, and hey, if you like what we do here and you want to send us more videos or have suggestions for us to do a round 2 of what you're about to see, put it in the comments. We're going to be reading them. So without further ado, let's watch some ghost videos. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
All right, we are going to begin with Chloe.
Ladies first.
So, ladies first. And this clip is also taken from an episode of Nuke's Top 5 found on YouTube. We're big fans of Nuke's Top 5. He posts a lot of ghost videos, and so naturally, some of our favorites and least favorites are going to come from his channel, and that's where this next one comes from. So, Chloe. This video is one of Chloe's likes, and someone seemed to capture somebody walking behind them that seems a bit unnatural. And why did you choose this one for us to view tonight?
One of the things that I notice that I like about ghost videos is when the reaction of the people seems appropriate to what they're seeing, or sometimes what they're not seeing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Perfect. So, Chloe likes The Follower.
The Follower. While a man was vacationing in the Rocky Mountains, his girlfriend zoomed in and snapped an iPhone live photo of him. For those who don't know, an iPhone live photo basically captures a 3-second video along with the normal photo. Later, when they were reviewing their pictures, they found something very odd. Even though they were all alone in the wilderness that day, someone appeared to be watching the man from the field behind him. On first glance, it looks like someone standing in tall grass. But as this shot shows, grass in that area is not that tall. So on second look at the photo, it almost appears as if the person was actually hiding in the grass. But the iPhone live photo 3-second video shows something very different. It almost looks like someone walking, even though half of the person's body would be beneath the ground. When the video is motion stabilized, it looks even creepier.
Interesting.
Kind of like... Yeah, that was...
Definitely.
I've seen that one, but that one, I like that one. That one's creepy.
I mean, I when I look at this, I see, very similar, everything's grainy. It's not like something standing out or something can be like overlaid.
The child here isn't, or whatever, I say child, whatever
Yeah,
it
it
is.
looks like
It's
a
not,
child.
because you could say, oh, they've edited it in, but yeah, it is actually difficult to get the same kind of grain on him as the man in the green shirt.
And when it was moving, you could see that it was within the grass.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
That
in
would
the
be
grass.
harder to edit.
Yeah.
Not impossible, but very difficult.
Yeah, it'd be-
Nothing's
it takes some
impossible.
time for
Something else
such a
viewer
short
shows I have
video.
a film background and I'm going to be that guy, so yeah, not impossible.
And it is interesting that, it's not a video, it's not a picture, it's an iPhone live photo. Which you don't
There's
see a lot of
very
that.
few paranormal videos like that.
Right.
And that was one of the things that stuck out to me the most, because I'm like, that would be harder to edit than a video or a picture.
Right.
And it looks the same destabilized.
Yep.
So it's really it's kind of fascinating.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Like you said, that grass is not tall enough for
It's
like
not.
anyone to walk in.
Right. Exactly.
It's also rather creepy because he's coming towards the man.
Yeah,
like he's
he's
coming.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
He's coming right at
Yeah,
him, and the
and
guy's just like dude, talking. And
That would be my.
I'd like to know if the guy's still alive. You know, maybe he got eaten.
yeah, I
that
do
day.
wonder what happened after.
That's
this.
Yeah,
my
what
next
happens
question,
after
like,
this?
Did
you
they
know?
say? Did they say if the camera person noticed it?
They didn't
Not until-
actually.
not until
I didn't
after.
hear it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, she did say it. They did say after.
Let's
Yeah, it
let
was
me
after
see.
when they were reviewing the footage.
Only after review. Yeah. So.
They said only after review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While a man was
Well, no.
vacationing in the Rocky Mountains, his girlfriend
like
zoomed in
Zion.
and snapped an iPhone live photo of him. For those who don't know, an iPhone live photo basically captures a 3-second video along with the normal
I wonder
photo.
if that's where they are.
Later, when they were reviewing their pictures, they found something very
Later.
odd.
Later on.
Even though
Okay.
they were all
Very
alone.
interesting. Good one, Chloe.
Yeah, I like
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so this next one is another like by Chloe. This one takes place in Iraq and was captured by some school kids that I'm pretty sure are playing hooky. I'm not sure, but what made you choose this one?
Sort of same thing as the last one. Again, the reaction of the people with the video. I like when evidence is caught but not noticed, because it makes it more. I don't like when people react to stuff, because then it's sort of easy to tell that it's fake.
Right.
Yeah,
The likelihood of you seeing a spirit is a lot less.
And one of the best ways also to debunk a video, especially for someone like me that always looks at things from a video making perspective, is bad acting.
Right. Right.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
Did you
how-
see that?
Oh my god!
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yeah.
That thing that happened. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah, you can tell just by listening and looking
No,
whether
because-
it startled them, scared them,
Yeah.
or if they're trying to pretend that
if
they
you
are.
see a ghost, the average Joe, if you see a
Average
ghost,
Joe.
you're gonna freak out. You're
Yeah.
gonna get away. But when people are like, "Oh my god, what's that?" Like it's just like no,
no, it's
no.
like, yeah, because most people in
What is
society,
that thing?
yeah, most people in society are taught that ghosts aren't real. So it's like they go around, thinking that okay, it doesn't exist, so I'm never going to see it. And then when they actually see something, it totally rewires their brain and gives them a short circuit.
Yeah.
Rewrite the science books. Anyway, so
So yeah.
Chloe's second like.
Headless haunting. Some kids in Iraq are filming around an old abandoned school. At first their exploration is pretty uneventful. Then one of the boys mentions in Arabic that his phone that had been fully charged was now about to shut off. Right after he says this, the cameraman nonchalantly pans around an abandoned classroom. Just then a call to prayer can be heard from a nearby mosque. The camera catches this strange footage.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like that.
He's transparent too, wasn't he?
Right when the prayer started.
Boys
too.
couldn't
Yeah.
see the headless apparition with their naked eye and had no reaction. It was only later, when watching the footage back, that they noticed the chilling figure in the video.
Yeah, that
really
one was.
interesting.
I liked that one. That was like coming right out of the wall. That was creepy. I
Yeah,
like
it
that one.
and I gotta tell you too, if this is fake, its motion tracking is really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
And
Not saying that makes it real, but it's really good. Now, something I also noticed, don't know if this adds authenticity or not, or if it debunks it, but this figure might have a shadow. In front of it.
Oh.
In front of it, it might have a shadow, but let's
Okay,
see.
that right there.
Oh,
right in
shoot,
front.
you're right,
Yeah,
it
there
does.
was a shadow.
Wow.
But it also isn't really in the shape of a man. It's sort
No.
of
It's
just
like
elongated.
it's almost like a cone of light.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
spooky.
So I
I
think
didn't even notice that.
I didn't notice it right away, but
You see it right here.
Right there.
Yeah, it's literally like, that's really weird.
I don't even know which direction that takes the video in.
Right.
And it's weird because it's like the shadow is like moving.
Here's
like,
the
it
thing
doesn't
though,
look-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It doesn't look like it's consistent.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let us know what y'all think.
Yeah. Right?
All right. Our first dislike of the night.
Time.
Chloe's third video is a dislike. Chloe, why do you dislike this video?
Two things. I don't like ghost videos with kids.
Same.
Love them. I think it gives more authenticity because
so?
I think so.
I've heard you
'cause
say that before.
When kids are kind of like old people, they're closer to death, and kids are closer to death because they just got born, right? Yeah, and they haven't been they haven't been preconditioned by society and the world to know what to fake. So when they're by themselves, I just think that they don't have the experience to be able to maybe do that. Now, not all the time. I've seen some good actors, on TV.
That's the thing
obviously.
too.
So
Because you do have a point. Riley and Chloe have points too, I've heard, because kids do stupid stuff and parents also want to get famous off their kids.
yes, big time.
But then, I mean, kids could... I've seen some pretty spooky, convincing videos with kids and, like, knowing things they shouldn't know, seeing things they shouldn't. I mean, it's the reason I don't want kids. I'm kidding.
They're creepy.
It's not the reason
They're
I don't want
creepy.
kids. But...
But what were you finished what you were saying?
Oh yeah, that was reason one. I don't like videos with kids. And reason two. You know what? I'll just let you watch the video and I'll tell you why after.
All right.
Okay.
Chloe's third video, dislike when you see it.
When you see it,
Oh,
a
this
mother is
one.
sitting with her two daughters while they eat. Suddenly, the oldest daughter becomes very disturbed and frightened by something she can see in the other room, even though there's nothing visible in the video.
See, what I don't like about this video is the way the mom acts.
Yes, that's
That is
the
a really
biggest
good one.
point of the video is why is she even
Why-
recording this?
Well, she's recording the kids playing, but why doesn't she get up and
just
go
turned
in
off the
there to
lights.
see what's
That's
going
No,
on?
she's so
or
calm,
any-
The mother
yeah.
remains calm, questioning
I've seen
her
this
daughter
too.
as to why she is
And
scared.
she goes, "Oh, the fish died."
She receives
You
no
never
answer.
listen. Oh, the fish
The
died.
younger
It's like,
daughter looks
wait,
back,
that needs that's
doesn't see
that's the
anything,
story.
and
Yeah.
then laughs at how her big sister is seemingly scared of nothing.
What was that?
I mean, kids will do that, right?
They do that. I've
No,
I mean,
okay,
my
the one with
kids
the
do
braids,
this.
the one with the braids is scared of something.
Right, she sees something.
Like I don't think mom's
That's-
like be scared, be scared. She is scared of some. The mom might think it's
Look
funny.
at me.
Yeah.
What are you scared of?
She
The
just
fish? Oh, the fish died.
And then
What?
It's raining, girl.
Cleo.
Nothing, honey. Are you almost done eating?
No, something's
Yeah.
that's real. That kid's reaction. I don't know what she's seeing.
Look at me.
But what's crazy here though is when she does
Or
see
she's
it.
crying because
Until the younger
Her-
girl
her
takes
fish
a
are
second
dead. I don't
Yeah.
know.
and suddenly she
But
also
when she
sees whatever
sees it-
frightened her older sister.
She
Her
sees.
reaction is pure terror.
Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. But you gotta listen to me. Turn around. Look at me. What's the matter?
And there you can tell there's nothing there. The camera's on that
I wonder if
area
this
the
was
whole
a prank
time.
gone too far from the parents.
It could have been. Maybe something was in the door and it scared them. I don't know.
That's possible, but also at the same
The
time,
video uploader, Angel Ruiz,
If it's a
says
prank,
that both
it's
girls
me.
claim to have
Yeah.
seen
But
a
I
ghost
think-
in the other room.
and I
even though
imagine
nothing
these are my two
strange
little
was visible
cousins.
to their mother or captured on video.
kids are dramatic.
Yeah.
And like one of them freaks out, the other one's gonna freak out because she's jealous that the other one's getting attention, or she just wants to join in on the fun. I just don't trust kids.
No,
But
and
do you believe them when they say they've seen something?
It depends, because I have had kids in my family like tell me that they've seen something, and I have believed them
Right.
because of how they talked about it.
Yeah.
My little brother, when he was younger, he would say some stuff that he should not have known about,
Right.
but it was more believable.
And I think the biggest thing here is the difference between hearing these stories firsthand and then watching a parent put their kids on the internet hoping to get it. Like, it's much easier and much less believable when it's a recording in these types of ways, you know.
Right.
But hearing a firsthand experience from, oh, Dad, you know, I saw this or this happened. Like, okay, that there's a little bit more to it there.
Right.
I think there's big red flags when something like this happens.
And also, you don't see anything in the video.
Right, you
And
don't
therefore,
know
for me, it's
anything.
not a ghost video.
I do
Right.
wish I knew
It's not ghost
what
caught on
was
camera.
happening.
Right. I wish
There's
there
nothing.
was something. It's just a couple. Yeah.
There's just some kids crying.
And it's
I
also
agree.
strange because no matter how intense it gets, the mom, even when the kids are hugging her leg, the mom never moves that
Yeah.
camera.
She doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
And she's so calm.
Very calm.
They're
Yeah,
screaming
you'd
their
figure
heads
she'd
off.
be like concerned for her children.
Like, yeah, like literally, like when they're freaking crying, hugging her legs. She's not, are you okay? What did you see? This mom should be like, who? What? The mom
Yeah,
should be over there.
Running
She should
over
be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
if my kids are freaking out, I would assume that someone had like broken into my
Right.
house.
Exactly,
Right.
yes. I'm gonna call it a dislike, which is interesting because
Yeah.
until today I always kind of enjoyed this video. I've seen it before, but I think I just really like watching kids get scared. So
That is you.
yeah. Those are Chloe's picks.
I would say all green check marks from us. at
Yeah.
I
that
liked
point.
them. Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Very
thank you.
good.
Who's next?
Oh, bring it on.
Michael?
Go for
Yeah,
Michael.
bring it on.
Michael.
I don't remember which ones.
All right, Michael. Your first video. It's a like. It's about a woman who is a diver with a GoPro.
Gotcha.
Here's something very interesting. What made you choose this one?
Because it was different. You don't see very many ghost videos underwater.
This is true.
Okay.
Yeah, very true.
Go. Check this
do it.
out. So Mike's like the diver.
TikTok user Brianna's videos are mostly dedicated to her favorite pastime, free diving in the beautiful waters just off the coast of sunny Florida. Now, none of Brianna's videos have anything to do with the supernatural. Well, except for just this one.
Now I know why you chose
One
it.
afternoon, Brianna is going for a routine dive when she captures something truly chilling.
That sounds creepy.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
She's not reacting to it either.
She's
just
not.
kinda
She.
like
He
it.
saw her stop, and she was kind of looking, but she's like, "Okay, just let me get out of here."
Yeah.
Brianna starts to panic as she hears loud, distressed underwater screams all around her. After she surfaces and disturbed by what she just heard, she goes down again to try to figure out just what is going on.
And then there's nothing. The second time she goes under there.
Now, of course, many viewers accuse Brianna of adding a fake audio track to her dive video. So, to prove them wrong, Brianna posts again, this time showing the footage directly from her GoPro camera.
So, people are asking what camera I use. GoPro 7 works perfectly fine for me. I cracked it a little bit, but I use the case. Definitely not a voiceover though, so I'm going to show you the video straight out on a GoPro. Just like how I recorded it. So you can hear. Yeah.
or not, the strange underwater screams are absolutely unnerving.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I do like how she tries to debunk by saying, hey, this is the audio from my camera. The only other thing I can think of is how weird sound travels underwater. Maybe some people were messing around, behind her, around her, and you can kind of hear.
It's pretty loud, though.
It is loud.
Yeah,
you are right. So
Yeah, I don't know how ghosts sound underwater.
that's true.
I'm like, not enough research into this topic.
I've never heard
No.
ghosts underwater.
It's a very hard to.
I mean, it could be like someone
It's
got
very hard.
trapped
It's very
under
hard
there,
to
or
research what it could have been. Did it say what she was swimming under?
Just
It looked like a shipwreck.
It did.
Interesting.
could have been.
That was
And it
another
sounded like
Screams
multiple
people
different voices.
Yeah,
wanted to
I
get
heard
out.
I heard
and
a male
female.
and a female, and at one point it sounded like a child.
I didn't
The
hear
nonchalantness
sound,
of it
but-
too is great. You mentioned she's never posted paranormal before.
Right, she
She's
hasn't.
calm. She shows the official footage through a footage. There's a lot that makes it seem like paranormal or not. She's at a loss as to what happened.
Right, because
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Good job. So, this next one by Michael is another like and local, taking place near what town?
in between here and Payson, actually, on 87.
87. I've
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of ghost stories about Highway 87.
I don't know which direction they're going. I have watched this video multiple times just to try to see if I recognize any type of
where they're at,
any
yeah.
type of something that I recognize, and I have not been able to do that. So it's either going this way or that. So
Interesting.
Not to get
Yeah.
technical or nothing, but yeah.
I
So
don't know.
this is
Maybe,
Michael's.
I mean, y'all have driven this road. It's going to Payson, so
Yeah.
you may see something that I don't, or someone else might.
We're gonna find our way out here. We're gonna look into this video, but here's what happened in Mike's second like.
Highway horror. It's 4 in the morning and truck driver William Church is driving down an empty highway just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. He suddenly spots something in front of him that makes his blood run cold.
Oh, absolutely not.
William's truck dash cam records the moment when a translucent figure appears to be standing on the right lane of the highway. The truck driver can't believe his eyes, but he's not the only one who spots the bizarre figure. Sitting next to him in the passenger seat is his truck driving partner, Erica Lake. She is also shocked by the sudden appearance of this strange apparition on the road.
At first, I thought it was a human, and then when you can't really see the face and the top of the body up, I was kind of, I wonder what, and then we were thinking about maybe it's a ghost.
I actually twitched the wheel to miss whoever it was.
Just
The highway
top half
there
is so
on
hard to
Arizona
see.
State Route 87 is notorious for its many deadly accidents where countless lives have been tragically cut short. Adding to the mystery, the figure they capture appears to have no upper torso or head.
Yeah,
I
that's
hate
the
that.
part.
The two
Yeah.
I hate
doctors
that
capture
so
proof
much.
of the paranormal, or just what do you think this is? Let me know.
Yeah, I like that one.
We're gonna have to-
I really like that one. Actually, like Highway Ghosts. One
Dash
of my
cams.
favorites. One of my favorites.
I want to get a dash cam for my truck for that reason.
What's
The
really
highway
funny,
that
too-
runs right past Superstition Mountain, the 88, also known as the Apache Trail, is notorious for.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could probably go
Unfortunately,
find
we
some
know
stuff
that,
out
yeah.
there. We actually, some of that hits close to home.
Yeah.
But
Let's invest in some dash cams.
We need to, just put them on our vehicles and just randomly just turn them on when we're driving and then go through them. And if we catch something, it's like, whoa, cool, look
Yeah.
what I caught.
That's cool.
Oh, what's funny is you mentioned La Llorona earlier. In a lot of cultures, like a woman in white, like as a spirit exists. That's sort of what like Mexico has in La Llorona.
Right.
But in America, a lot of the time, the woman in white is a highway ghost.
They
So that's
usually
sort
are.
of what-
Yeah, they
yep.
usually died, and if you pick them up, they disappear before they get to their
Yep.
situation.
Terrifying. I can't
They
even
have,
imagine.
Yeah, they have
I mean,
some
not
of
that I would
those
pick
around
anyone up in
Thatcher
my
too.
car
They
anyway,
have.
but
no, I've never had a desire to pick up a hitchhiker.
No.
no, I am too small for that. I'd get murdered.
I keep a gun
I'll
in my
pass.
truck.
I
I ain't
mean,
gonna do it.
All hopes and prayers to him. I'm not that ride.
I'm not that ride. Unfortunately, especially nowadays with the way things are, you don't even want to know.
Yeah. I always thought though, if I did pick up someone and they like pulled a gun on me, I would just floor it and not stop. And they're like, "Pull over!" Like, no, because you're gonna
shoot me.
If you're
and this car's
gonna,
going
if you're gonna
120.
kill me, you're going with me. I'm going 120.
Yeah, in this car, and just because I'm dead, that means my foot gets further on the gas.
Yeah, I'm like, we're both. It's either none of us or both of us. But
See, I'd like to. There's one area talking about highway ghosts and everything, and it was here in Arizona. It's Highway 191, which used to be way back in the day Highway 666.
Yeah.
Okay, they changed it because in Safford, and then you got Wilcox on the I-10. You go into Tucson. Well, Safford and Thatcher wasn't getting any business around Halloween because merchants didn't want to drive 666 on Halloween.
Oh.
Okay, that's why they changed the name
number.
of the road, but it didn't stop the hauntings. There is a ghost semi on that road.
yeah, I don't know why a name change would stop anything.
No, it didn't. There is a semi that will ride up on your butt, and you, no matter how fast you go, it's right there, and it's creepy. I've had it happen like twice.
Goldfield is now called like Goldville, and nothing bad here ever happens anymore. We're Goldville.
Yeah,
Change the name.
totally.
But,
That's interesting.
yeah, I know. And then
but I liked that video.
yeah, it was a good one, and it gives us somewhere nearby to possibly go and check out ourselves. I'm willing to
absolutely
road trip literally.
For sure.
And this next video is also Michael's third and final video, which is also a like because Michael's an optimist. He doesn't have any dislikes.
Well, I do, but they were hard to find.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's certain ones, like I said.
We'll probably be able to do it again. Like I said,
Yeah.
viewers, if you're enjoying this, let us know. We'll be happy to do it again. But this one's got a pretty simple title. It's just called Orb.
Midwest Ghost Hunter is determined to explore the sanatorium in hopes of capturing evidence of the paranormal. It's late at night as Ian begins his investigation. Things almost immediately start to get weird.
What's that sound? Okay, those were footsteps. Damn, these stairs.
That sounded like hardwood. I don't see any hardwood.
I know, it sounded like high heels on their heels.
Ian is a bit shaken up by the strange, unexplained footsteps, but he tries to keep calm as he continues to explore.
Come enter, my friend.
Okay, as creepy as that was, I did feel a gust of wind when that happened, and I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Pretty sure.
See, look at that. See? Holy shit.
The ghost is like, well, fine.
A door creepily opens by itself, but
See,
Ian is quick to point out
I like
it was
that he's
just the wind.
debunking it. Live.
However,
He
Ian
debunked it, right.
starts to hear odd noises from somewhere nearby. He goes to check it out, and something happens that he simply can't explain. Something truly chilling.
Hello? Whoa, what was that? Dude, I think I just saw something.
He's happy.
Could you appear like that again?
Because there's no other dust.
Yeah.
Maybe, there's no other bugs flying around. Because you use IR cameras, that light shines on everything that flies around,
yeah.
and dust and stuff. So you would see the dust flying
my
around.
God,
I'm
it is
thinking,
awful.
I am
See
not an
that.
orb fan.
I know, yeah.
Not
I'm
an
not
orb
saying
fan.
it's fake, but hypothetically, if it was fake, there not being any dust around could also add to.
Oh
my God, it just went into that room.
Yeah, and
It could also add to it being edited. There is no other dust, but this is edited
just
in. It
right.
kind of adds, but I don't know.
could true.
faded
yeah.
in and faded out
Yeah,
just
right.
like that.
Because the rest of the picture is so.
Oh,
clean,
and then it
but then
just
again,
shows up
And then
again.
it goes that way.
Yeah.
It seems unlikely that if there's wind, there's no
Dude.
dust.
That was crazy.
again though, it's
I just
why I
saw
like
you.
how he debunked before.
Right.
You just go into this
Why
room.
debunk and then, unless he's just trying to be believable, I don't know. Or maybe he just didn't catch anything. He's like, I need to do something. I need to edit something. If you want to see the rest of that video, check out Nuke's Top 5. Yeah, because I remember the orb is what you focused on, and
Yeah, because I'm not an orb person. I try to debunk orbs every chance that I get.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I can show you what dust looks like just by walking down into the mine shaft, you know, and in bright light. So it's like when one just kind of, gets my interest.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that that's real at all. It could be a dust, it could be a bug, it could be, like you said, edited in.
Yeah.
But that's one of the more convincing ones. Now, I did see a few others, but...
It's different for sure.
And like you said, debunking the beginning kind of gave a little bit that, okay, he's going in there with at least a skeptical mind.
yeah,
I get
not
you.
everything is real.
Right.
Yeah. It's usually my outlook on something like this is if it's too good to be true, odds are it probably is. Those were very, very circular. Almost
Right.
like perfectly circular.
What I could also potentially, I don't know if I'm going to, but what I could potentially do is if you go frame by frame and watch his camera movement versus the orb movement,
And
sometimes
seeing
if
if
it
it-
doesn't jive right, it could be clearly just a picture on top of his footage. But
Yeah, the way that the first one kind of faded out looked a little suspect to me, but you know, like
Which
you
is
said,
funny
remember-
because I have so many, and I'm thinking other videos that I could have sent you. So
Oh.
many others that we're going to have to...
there's so many.
No,
No,
yeah.
I mean,
I
I'm
actually
completely up to date on Nukes 5.
No,
and I'm almost
doing this was my idea,
slapped
and I
down
realized
myself.
when doing it that I hated doing it. I couldn't, for the life of me,
Yeah.
figure out what to show for the
Yeah.
last
There's
time.
so
but,
many
you
of
know,
them, yeah.
But,
So that was my third
and
one.
that was his. So,
yeah, Riley's next.
Riley?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so right off the bat, I'm familiar with this one as well. It's a pretty good one. This is actually an example of something that I would have chosen had I thought of it.
Yeah.
Why'd you choose it, Riley?
Oh, this one's good. Well, it's horrible, but it's very good. I think the circumstances and the it's a real life tragedy that happened, and the circumstances of how the recording was obtained is very different and makes it very believable, in my opinion. So
Cool. So Riley's first like the Watts house.
The Watts family. So almost a year ago, I uploaded a video about the tragic case of the Watts family and the strange supernatural events that were caught on video by police body cameras after their deaths. Recently, Netflix has released a documentary about the Watts family tragedy, and viewer emails have come flooding in. Now, many claim to have seen paranormal evidence in the documentary that I never explained in my last video. And then there are a lot of people who just never saw my previous video about the Watts family case. So here's a quick recap before we jump into the all-new supernatural evidence. Shannon Watts and her daughters Bella and Cece lost their lives under absolutely horrible circumstances, all at the hands of husband and father Chris Watts. In fact, the details of the case are so grim that I'm not going to go into them here. But if you want to know the full story, you can either simply Google the Watts family or check out the new Netflix documentary. Now, in this next video, which was taken right after the disappearance of Shannon Watts and her daughters, 2 female officers from the police K-9 unit go into the Watts house to investigate the strange disappearance of Shannon Watts and her 2 daughters. Obviously, this video was recorded before the tragic fate of Shannon and her children were known. The footage is 100% real. It is documented police video captured by one of the investigators' body camera.
there's your attic access right there. Yes.
This one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the woman.
Yeah, she's freaked.
Go in there and step on that little blue thing and see if that's where that is.
She didn't want to go in
sounded
there.
like a kid
No.
boy.
She's like, what was that? It had to have been a toy.
Something. There was I heard it.
Did you hear it?
I did.
Again,
So,
I want
I
to point out that all of this footage and the strange EVPs you just heard were captured on police body cams and released directly to the public. So nothing was tampered with, and nothing could possibly be faked. Now, even creepy.
Now, there's a little more to it, some things they see and things, and some other paranormal opinions. Again, check out the full video on Nuke's Top 5, but the voice is heard by police body cams is what you wanted to focus on.
Right.
Yeah, and with everything that we just watched, I do want to reiterate the respect for the family and everything about what happened. It's really horrible, but with that tragedy, hearing that come from police body cam footage, you don't see that very often, and how on the nose some of those were.
And how they reacted.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty...
being law enforcement, they tried to debunk it, step on the toys, to do this, do that.
Yeah.
You know,
That
they
one
were,
woman with the dog was wasn't having it.
Yeah,
She even was kind of chuckling, walking backwards, like, okay, no.
I'm not going to do that. And that just goes to show it wasn't somebody overlaying any sort of stuff on top of body cam. Like, if that were the case, because they react to it. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's a good one.
I actually,
Yeah,
when I saw it, I was like, that's a great one. Riley's second choice, alike, Ida and Chelsea. Chelsea is a member of which paranormal group?
Formerly Destination Fear, currently Project Fear.
So this happened on television when they're doing an investigation. I don't know the entire backstory to the building. I can't remember, but I do know that they wanted to investigate the basement, and for some reason they have Chelsea do it alone.
Oh, they love sending Chelsea down into the basement.
Doesn't go well for her.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Let's see if I can remember where they're at.
And we talk about, we don't want to react in such a strong way. We don't want to run. We don't want to scream.
These people do all the time.
They do that all the time. But at the same time, with that kind of reaction and how Chelsea reacts, I mean, the emotion, that kind of tells to me
it was real.
It was real.
It goes back to what we were saying about acting.
Right,
So,
exactly. So with that in mind, I really enjoy this clip.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, freaking right. Holy
That's something out of a horror movie.
Oh, just you wait.
Now, the video says Ida and Chelsea. I do believe Ida is supposed to be one of the
The
spirits.
woman that I believe either hung herself or was killed and died in
currently
the basement.
outside of Ida's room. She had a debilitating condition called neurosyphilis, and she took her own life right here.
Yeah.
And down here is the scariest part of the entire basement. The energy down here is a lot different. It's like incredibly still here. And my heart is pounding out of my chest right now. Alright. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit down. So right now I'm currently sitting outside of Ida's room. The thing about the basement is there are two things that really stand out to me. One of those things is the dark entity down here.
Yeah. Like.
I'm gonna get down here now.
I just heard a lady, like an old grandma lady, say hello.
Old grandma
Hello,
lady.
Also, her poor choice of adjectives also adds to the
Like how flustered she is.
Yeah, she would not have said old grandma lady if
It
she
was
was.
scripted.
And notice she ain't
She's
moving.
not running.
And she's not moving. She's just like
Frozen.
Yeah,
There's-
she's not moving, and they run a lot.
I am not kidding. I heard a grandma voice.
What? And you're sitting in front of Ida's room.
I'm not kidding. I was sitting here.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm freaked out.
I understand. That's scary.
That was scary. It sounds stupid because it's not like a scary noise. I think it's like unsaid too.
It is when you're not supposed to hear it.
Right.
It didn't sound like a demon or anything, but it sounded like a grandma. And
that's not the end of it
It sounded
either.
like a kid from the kitchen.
Back there.
It was like, hello.
Is the dark entity down here? Is
Whoa.
the dark entity down here?
It echoes off.
Echoes.
I was gonna say
It echoes off the
Yeah, it
wall.
almost seemed like she was reacting before it said hello, but was that the echo causing?
I'm thinking it was the echo.
But I have never been so scared in my life.
I mean, you're not only in the basement alone, but you're in the building completely alone.
I just was not ready
Oh,
for
y'all
that.
suck.
Oh my gosh.
It's your future, Chloe.
Oh, you're right.
Are you okay, Chelsea?
Oh, they all hear it?
They all hear that.
They
and then
all
they
heard that.
Get the hell out.
I like how the one girl by herself is braver than everybody
Oh,
together.
yeah, her brother and the other, her the best
Oh,
friend.
man.
I would have stayed down.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say I could
I
be
would've went
wrong.
for
I
it.
don't know. I think I am, but I think Fear Frontier would have. I
We
think
would've
all
went-
four of us would have stayed
Yeah,
down there.
it probably would have startled us, but we would have went.
We've
okay.
heard. Yeah, we've heard. Yeah, we would have jumped. Everybody. You're startled when you
Right.
compose. We've had this happen, and then
Yeah.
you're like, okay, hello. Like
Yeah,
who's
who's
there?
there?
Like
Exactly.
what do you want to say to us? Like
Yeah.
here we are. Like so yeah, we've been
That
there.
was good.
Yeah.
That was a good one because I've watched all of Destination Fears, so I know how those three react.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. But that's one of my favorite.
Yeah, when
you know,
Chelsea started crying, she was like, "Wait a second here," you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a good one, and then one that's not so good. Riley's third pick, a dislike.
A dislike.
Just
But
call
I
it Guy
love
in
it.
Office because that's
Exactly
about what it is. So we'll find out.
Guy
why
in an
Riley
office.
Guy in
Love
an
it.
didn't like this one.
Most people who experience paranormal activities tend to have first-hand experience literally on their own, and that experience can be quite harrowing when you're by yourself. Now, for a perfect example of this, we'll take a look at this guy. The clip, which was taken in November of 2017, shows a guy working late at the office when he suddenly hears an alarm going off.
Interesting camera angles here, by the way, for security.
That is.
As the clip will show, he decides to go and check it out, and eventually came back thinking that he was done, but little did he know that whatever was behind the entire thing was not done messing with him. Visibly scared once again, the guy decides to go and check out what's happening. I don't know what happened behind the camera, but he was so spooked that he literally hightailed it out of there and ran away.
Okay, chair went flying.
But look at
Someone
his.
could absolutely be hiding under there and
Actually,
though.
they are.
Did you see
I
him?
saw the reflection. Did you see it?
I
No.
didn't
Go back.
I just. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Let's see the reflection.
Right there.
Oh, yep.
Wait.
Watch. No. That is not the guy. The guy's a big bald guy in a white shirt.
They have
Watch.
hair.
Yeah, that's a girl or something long hair.
Yeah,
Watch.
there.
I saw it. When it replays.
I don't think that he'll be coming back to work the next day, though.
They're in a
Walked
t-shirt.
out.
Oh,
T-shirt.
Debunked right there,
Debunked.
live on Fear
Nice.
Frontier.
that was good.
Nice
Amazing.
one.
I just loved his pause. Wait for my friend to pull everything, freak out and run away.
What?
Yeah.
That's the thing that you mentioned camera angles.
Yeah.
CCTV. There's a certain way you do it. That didn't look authentic.
Right.
Those are
No.
probably
And
tripoded
also,
cameras.
100%, they're all looking in different directions from the same exact spot.
Exactly. Yeah.
It-
And when things
that's
happen,
not how they set up
yeah.
security cameras.
And then he pauses right where activity behind him, activity in front of him happens, and then I can't believe they didn't cut the person in the t-shirt out. They didn't see that.
Well, I mean, I didn't. I hated this, and I didn't see that.
No, I mean when I
wonder if Nuke's
when I put it on the show, I didn't see it, but I
is.
saw it there.
Yeah,
that wasn't
crazy.
Nuke.
No, I didn't recognize that voice.
But yeah, good dislike because that was
that was a good
trash. That was
That was good.
debunkable.
I mean,
to the core.
but it's fun at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, it was so cheesy that.
As long as you do it.
Yeah.
What is it? My turn?
Yep.
It is your turn.
You know, the fun thing about me, anyone that knows me, probably is expecting me to literally have like video footage, B-roll of the 7th level of hell, but that's it's not going to be like that. Yeah, so mine might be not as crazy as you think, but I just kind of enjoy them, and I'm going to cheat because my first one isn't a like or a dislike. It's a mixed.
It's a mix.
And it's because it was a like, and then I watched it again, and it became mixed because there's only one little piece of evidence that makes me go,
Let's discuss.
Yeah, and this video is, it has no sound. It had music. I took it out because it was not helping the video any. And it's from a CCTV camera in another place that is also a ghost town, Blockbuster. So, here we go. It also is in Mexico, I understand, which makes sense because the signs are in Spanish. But I do remember trying to research a little bit about this. It was in Mexico. Now, I'll tell you what I do like about it. It falls under the nonchalant category. There's nothing really crazy going on other than this man's working at night and he's stocking shelves. Appears to be alone. This is a more proper CCTV camera placement, I think, as you can see 3 corners of the store and the door, and there's probably another camera beside him that has the register and door on it. And as he's doing this, a couple strange things start to happen. He kind of ignores them at first, and then he slowly starts to be like, okay, something's afoot. You see the cart moves a little right there. Now what makes me question this video is there. Now the cart moving, it gets his attention, but I've watched it a few times and the cart, it moves in such a way that it makes me think someone's behind this shelf right here, pulling it around the corner.
Okay.
When I watch the movement, that adds up. It moves a tiny bit, then it moves a lot. Both times, that exact trajectory. That's where my mix comes in. But the video does get better. Watch the shelves. That's a little harder to do. Again, casual. He hasn't been too frightened. I don't even know if he really knows what happened to the cart. It's in a similar area, but that is a different movie. If I'm not mistaken, that was a different movie. Probably just assumes, hey, I didn't probably put it then right in front of him.
Right.
See, that was in front of him, not where I said that string was being, I think it's being pulled from, but in front of him. Because I think the shelf behind another movie from a different shelf, different level.
Another one.
That one again. Now that was the same one repeated. And finally
and he's
he just
like,
goes,
you know
nope.
what? You know
Just
what?
gone.
I'm done.
And that's the video. It's mixed because I like it, but
there could be.
The first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, it's great! I love this. I love this subtlety
We
of it."
talked
You'll
about
notice
this in a couple
a lot
of
of my
times.
favorite ghost videos are subtle. Not all of them, but a lot of them. But the more I watched it, it didn't become a dislike, but it kind of fell in between. But what are your thoughts?
I agree, because like you said, someone could be behind that thing, but it would be hard to pull those things down randomly.
The movie's falling.
Yeah, that's a lot
because
harder to
unless he's got 4 or 5 friends and there's just a space or something they're shoving things through, and it could happen. I mean, but it's a lot. It's a lot to. I mean,
for such a subtle video, it's a lot of work.
Now, my only thing is, what if this was towards the tail end of Blockbuster? You're dead. Because you've been dead for a long time.
The ghost of Blockbuster.
We're bored. Let's make something fun. But no, I can see there's arguments for both. I agree.
Yeah.
So, going from mixed, I'm gonna go straight into a dislike. I call this video the hammock. I'm not you'll probably learn episode to episode, viewers. I don't buy into TikTok videos so much because trends automatically put I forget the word. They automatically put a vibe that this is following what somebody else has done.
And there's so much.
Yeah, and everybody
so many filters
loves.
and so many things you can do with TikTok.
Yeah, and
stuff
everybody
like that.
loves
You can
ghost
do whatever,
videos.
yeah.
But the thing is, on this one, I wouldn't normally pick it. This one's so stupid, I wouldn't normally pick it. I picked it because of two reasons. One, it got a lot of traction on TikTok, and I don't think it deserved it, but hey, it's TikTok. The other reason, and I'm a big Nuke's Top 5 fan, but this was featured on Nuke's Top 5. This is just the raw TikTok footage, but it was featured on Nuke's Top 5, and I've never been more disappointed in a Nuke's Top 5 segment than this video. And after I show it, I'm also going to debunk it because I can prove this one's fake.
Caught this on my Ring camera last night.
That looked very phallic. Is that just me?
No, but what's also now the video could have been okay. Check this out. Look at that part. That is a little better. Had they just done that, it's kind of moving. Do you see it moving up in the mist back there? That would have been okay. Just that would have been okay. But it's the beginning that's terrible. Also, I don't know what it is. I don't like videos that start out with that voice. Top 10 things that happened on TikTok. And just, you won't believe your eyes. Would you stay here overnight? So I'm gonna go on YouTube right now, and I'm gonna debunk this for the world to see. Being involved in film, sometimes we have to borrow stock footage. Green screen ghost. I found their hammock ghost. There he is. Free HD screen, flying ghost. There's your hammock ghost.
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
Good call.
Debunked.
In fact, I think he even flies around a little bit like he does. All these green screens, they have such inspirational music. I'm like, we're looking at a ghost. You could literally look at like an AK-47 firing, and you'll hear like just like this most epic like tear-jerking music. But anyway, yeah. So that right there is absolutely that right there.
That's
Yep.
what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Now this one, I like it. I don't know if it's real or not. There's a lot of things that make it flow like it's real, but it also has the scare quality of a movie. I've always liked it. I don't know barely what's going on. I call it hotel screams because security hears there's a complaint about screams in a hotel room.
I remember
and yeah,
this
he's
one.
communicating with the desk.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they communicate, the CCTV footage,
Yeah.
the timing, the decision making, the unassurity. This one flows like it's real, but it's a lot to believe.
Yeah.
Let's check it out. ...2003 is also a much harder time to make fake videos like this.
Yes.
This truly is CCTV footage. There's almost
Yeah, you can tell.
Also,
Yeah.
the film nerd in me. Floor 2, camera 19. Floor 2, camera 22. I've watched this over and over. Those floors stay exactly like they should at all times. Just adding that nobody was editing that in. Listen to that.
Mm-hmm. I would have have already broken the door if I would have heard.
He wants to. This is a very brave security man. The desk is like
telling him.
He's like, no, don't do it, don't do it. He's like, no, I'm doing it. They're trying to stop him, and he's.
John says he hears the screaming coming from that room, and I hear it too. But we're sure that no one's checked into that room.
I've also heard a lot of scream sound effects. I've never heard that one. So it could be an actor, but I've never heard it as a stock sound effect.
Right.
He sincerely sounds like he's worried
I know,
for his
he's like,
safety.
don't go in
do
there.
it, don't do it.
And then he's like, anyway, I guess John's going in.
Wait one, that's a good line. Wait one, not, wait a minute, wait one, it's...
There's something.
Yeah, something walked out.
No CCTV in the room also adds authenticity.
Yep.
Right.
Light flickers.
Yeah, the light flickers.
And you can tell that guy's
Yeah, he's
like,
freaking out.
Yeah, he's sketched.
I'm wondering, the camera
officially freaked out.
The guy didn't see that was looking or talking to him didn't see that thing walk out of the room.
In the full video they replay it. I didn't replay it here, but when he goes in the room, the light flickers and something seems to
steps out.
come out of the room. Flicker and then.
No, it comes out first and then the light flickers.
Yeah, because it came out first and then the light flickered. Yeah, so right there.
I like how he just gives up. Like he's going.
Right there.
Now, that could have been fake Reddit. I don't know. The light flickering, if I slow down, I might be able to tell if that light's actually flickering or not. But it doesn't add to everything else being very believable. Even without the mist, the video is still terrifying.
Yeah. So, I
also like how he gets out and he's still looking, but he's not in the room. He's not going back in there.
Right.
He's done.
He's like, no. So I have two things. Either this is absolutely authentic, or it was filmed for the purpose of cinematography.
There's a chance it's a professional video. I had thought of that, but like I said, I think it's a great video. It's fun. I had a blast watching this one.
Yeah,
but you could be right.
The one thing that makes me sway or kind of push over the edge to that being it kind of like they
like a project
exactly is because there was no reason to say all the furniture is turned upside down, the shower's on, and the carpet's ripped up. Like that's kind of very.
Well, it's weird. It's a strange. Yeah, it's weird too. It's like I don't know. They could have been like, oh, the bookshelf the books on the bookshelf are flying around the room, or
it's super cold in there.
He saw a dark shadow. Oh, I know that's the room where so and so died.
Right. It was just like no one's checked in there.
The shower running for some reason was what creeps me out the most. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Screams, shower running. I don't know why. I don't know why. There's something creepy about that, but yeah. And then my final it is similar. It could be fake. It could be real. There's one little key ingredient that makes me want to call it real, and I will explain it after it happens. I also might skim through this one a little bit because it's really only a small section I need you to see. This is my fourth like, and it's called Theater. I'll tell you right off the bat, this man is investigating the Alchemist Theater alone. Now what makes me somewhat doubt it, he's alone, he goes anyway, his crew doesn't go with him as it's explaining here, but how do we know they're not behind the scenes? Right. And they're just making a great video. Have thought of that. So,
because he has investigated this same theater with his crew.
Got a camera set up in this corner.
I've seen it with his crew too.
And
that's what he said.
I'm just gonna sit. We got a furnace running, so there's sound, but I'm just gonna sit and listen, and just let the camera, just let the camera roll, and I don't know. Let's see what happens. Sitting here for a while. Something just moved behind me. Jeez.
Yeah, it goes
Something just moved behind me.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And you can see it
Okay.
from, not only from the camera position.
I don't see anything. Have a look here. Oh crap, I don't know if that seat was down. No idea. All the seats are up in this theater.
Except for that.
This one's down. Huh.
He like touches it and it goes back up.
Yeah, a very light touch brought it right back up.
And it goes right
Yeah,
back
he's,
up.
like,
It doesn't
struggling to
stay.
keep it
Yeah.
down.
So that, I like that too. He struggles to keep it down, and that's fun and all, but it's not the reason I choose the video. I'll fast forward a little bit as he goes into another part of the basement.
He's walking around, but there's probably tenants upstairs.
Now he says there's tenants upstairs, so he doesn't know what he's hearing.
It sounds like upstairs,
But he also claims nobody was home.
Alright.
But this is the part.
It's 1:25. I still haven't heard anything besides random creaking. This door here. Oh, jeez. Let's make some more noise.
Now, how he
Hello?
said that indicates to
Anybody
me
in
that
here?
he has yet to open that door. He was surprised at how much
Besides
noise
the
it
people
made.
upstairs. Okay. Well, I'm gonna look, see if this prop is still back here again. And we'll take a look. Come on! See if this prop is still back here again. And we'll take a look. Come on! That's not cool. The door open? No, the door was open. That door was closing. If anybody's in there messing with me, I'm gonna kick your ass.
There's that prop he's talking about.
Yeah. So this isn't the first time he's been in this hallway because he knew about that prop.
Right.
But it does seem like the first time he's entered these side rooms.
Hello? Hello? Okay, I don't see anything in here. Hello?
I do like that he's going in and investigating it, for sure.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
I also like that he falls over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you
Because
ain't
he
gonna
fell on
fake
that
that.
bike and I bet that hurt.
That hurts.
He almost falls there too, and he forgets the camera.
Yeah, he forgets the camera. The door still flies open.
Out, out, out!
He's done.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah, he's done. He forgets the camera. Comes back, that one flies open.
I don't know how I feel about the second door flying open or not, but
Out, out, out!
you all made good points with, the way he's acting, the way he's investigating, the way he falls. But there's a very subtle reason I like this video, and it falls into, I've said it several times, the filmmaker in me. Because one of the best ways to debunk a video, we said acting and also dialogue. Dialogue, if you understand how dialogue is written to progress a story, there's a skill. A lot of these people that fake videos, they don't have that skill.
No.
He says something that makes me think this isn't being scripted. This man is as
besides the people
confused as we
upstairs.
are. And it's
Okay.
He mentions, let's see if that prop is still
Well, I'm
back
gonna
there,
look.
indicating he's been in this hallway before.
Right.
Then,
Take a look. Come on. See if this prop is still back here again. And we'll take a look.
what he says
Come on.
right here, not here,
That's not cool.
when he goes back, right here.
The door open? No, the door was open. That door was closing.
He doesn't know how the door works.
Mm-hmm.
A staged thing would understand the environment and the dialogue.
Right.
This door belongs to this opening.
Right.
This door belongs to this opening.
Right.
When they're
This
both
is the
open,
end.
it gives the illusion of a double door.
Yeah, the door all the way on the right.
But
is the
there,
last one that
there is no door in the center here. This is an open. This is an open archway leading to that prop. That prop's not hidden. When you go down there, it's just hanging there. The fact that he goes, that door was open. No, wait, that door was closing. He is in real time figuring out that that door's not open. It's this side door that's opening, and that as soon as I heard that, I'm like, this isn't scripted. He has no clue how that door in front of him works. And
That's not cool.
Yeah, I could see where you're coming from
That
there.
door was closing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unless he's just trying to be
Unless he's good,
confused.
unless he's talented.
Purposely.
It's a unique piece of dialogue. It's a unique piece of dialogue that makes me think that it's not scripted.
And you know, if I were to make a fake video, a fake ghost video, and I was going to say, oh, well, Matt's going to be the subject, you know what I'd have the rest of the team do? Not tell him a single thing.
Mm-hmm.
True.
But most people aren't that smart.
You're adding to debunking the video by saying that.
No. I don't know about this one. This one I'm a little iffy on. If that last
No, like
door
I said-
hadn't opened, I would have 100%
Yes,
believed it. But that last
that
door
is true.
opening
I also
seems a
don't
little
like the
too
last door
convenient.
opening. The thing is, if we do this again, and I hope we do, I want to find videos that could authenticate things more, because I will admit a lot of my choices are going to be the ones I'm entertained by. Those are the ones I remember in a sea of ghost videos.
So much to pull from. So let us know if you guys see any that you'd like us to look at.
To
whether
talk
if it's
about,
new
yeah.
or-
Send us and we'll talk
Put your own
about it.
opinions in the comments. Ask us if you want us to do this again in future episodes. And and speaking of participation from you guys, obviously, as I said, this is episode 1 of what is supposed to be a continuing series, Fear Frontier, the podcast. We want to hear from you. Write questions to us. We'll get around to answer them. We want to participate with those that are viewing us. And because we do what we do, and we couldn't really do it without viewers. And this also goes into what else Fear Frontier does, in case you haven't figured it out. We own a ghost tour here in the Goldfield, Arizona. There's going to be a link right there in the bottom that'll actually take you to our website. And you can get tickets, check things out, and see what this town, this bordello is all about. Come and see it in person, basically. And as soon as this episode ends, there's actually going to be a little trailer, so be sure and stay tuned to see a little trailer that's been put together about our ghost tour. And also, while you're at it, feel free to also check us out, not just here on YouTube, but also on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and maybe even Spotify. We'll see how Spotify goes, considering the approach we take to the podcast. But Spotify, if you're listening there and you want to listen to us and then see what it is we're talking about, jump on up to YouTube, where you're mostly going to see us participating here on the podcast. And while you're at it, do us a favor, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and please toll the bell so you don't miss the next episode of Fear Frontier, the podcast, which currently is a bi-weekly show, hopefully posting every other Friday. And of course, we'd love to have you again. And anything else anybody wants to say before we sign off of episode 1?
No.
My name's Michael.
I'm Chloe.
And I'm Riley.
And again, I'm Matt. Here from Fear Frontier, we bid you good night.
Good night.
Good night.
An all-new paranormal tour where guides say they've seen grown men literally run for their lives. ever had anyone say, oh, I felt something on my shoulder?
Almost every time.
Seriously?
Tap, tap, tap.
I'm like, yeah, that was a spirit that we normally don't mess with.
And it seemed like it just flew out of my foot. Sorry, I'm freaked out.
I'm excited. If you're brave enough to venture with us on one of these ghost tours, come on out and see what you're made of.
And what an ominous warning. He says, hey, things change at night, but also this is not a boot tour, so if something happens, it wasn't planned.
Exactly. Okay.